Hello. I was watching a movie last night called 61st Street, and it's a mini series. I'm hoping anyway. But anyway, it was about a young black guy that was accused of doing something, of killing someone, and he did not do it. But because of so much racism that's in the world, and particularly in, I'm trying to remember what state it was in, but it really doesn't matter because it's where we live today. Even in 2025, we are still plagued by racism and prejudice, and it just brought me to tears because it's still going on. And so I think I had already stated last week or whenever it was that I came online, because I was being obedient to God and I did not want to be chastised anymore. So I was reading in my journal, um, to see what the Lord had been telling me back then. And I didn't realize one of the things that he said. I knew that he told me um, to to start a ministry, and of course, when I after the 34-year marriage and divorce, I assumed that you know I assumed that that was when I was supposed to step out in ministry. That the whole marriage really was the enemy's way of trying to hold me back, really, from fulfilling my God ordained ministry. So after divorcing, I'm thinking it was, um, I don't remember if it was, I know I divorced in 22, and somewhere between 2022, I think, I don't know, July or something like that. I don't remember exactly, but somewhere between 2022 and 2023, that's when I lost my memory. And I've given this testimony before. Um, so after when I learned that my ex husband remarried, I think he had already been remarried a week or something. I'm not sure. And after I learned about it, um, like a week or so afterwards, I woke up one morning and my memory returned. So of course, I didn't realize that I had lost my memory. But that says a whole lot. That's why I get on here and tell people, do not stay in a marriage or relationship with a narcissist. It is not worth it. I lost my freaking memory. And it seemed like it was 3 times after that. And I have to read back in my journal because I don't know how it happened. I don't remember, so I have to go back and look at it. But it was 3 more times. I think after that I woke up remembering more and more and more. And to be honest, I'm pretty, I don't think that well, I'm pretty sure I'm done with the amnesia stuff. Um, but it's interesting that my situation, and that's, I think when I got on last week, um, I still hadn't done what God had told me to do as far as starting a ministry. And I'm like, whatever He wants me to do, I'm doing, because I cannot stay in this situation. So I've been unemployed for over a year now, but God has continued to meet my need. Now, you tell me if that is not supernatural provision. I've had no income for like 7 or 8 months, yet I still have my house and I still have a car. I am so blessed. I am so blessed. And so back in the early 90s, that's when God started giving me so much revelation. I think it was 93 is when I think I got baptized in Holy Spirit. No, it wasn't. It was 90 because Desiree was a baby. But the enemy has used fear to hold me in bondage. I have been fearful, like I come from a singing family on both sides, but I am the only one that's fearful. I mean, shy. Nobody else is shy but me. And I know that the enemy has used that. He's used that fear to hold me in bondage, and I am bound. I'm determined I'm not going to stay in bondage. So I know that God is up to something. To be honest, I don't even know who the real Ann is because I've been held captive. So I'm looking forward just to even see who I really am, because the real me hasn't even come out yet. So I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to just being free to be who I am. And I'm looking forward to it. Like I said, the Lord showed me in the early 90s who I was born to be. And I haven't stepped into that yet. Besides at least, doing this part, starting out. So I know that he had told me to start a ministry, which I did, but I wasn't aware of this other part when I went back and looked through, because I keep journals. I've kept them most of my life, so everything is in my journal. If I need to see what was going on at that time, I just look through my journals, and I have a lot of them because I've kept them, I think, since I was like 12 years old on up. So everything. And I remember when I first started going back through my journals, I remember I became depressed because it was so much trauma. I mean, it was a lot of trauma, a lot of heartache, a lot of pain. I went through a lot unnecessarily. Being yoked up with the wrong spouse can do so much damage that I have not even yet to heal from. But anyway, back to the other thing. So I was watching that movie, and I felt like, I remember, well, I'm getting ahead of myself. So it's been years ago. Years ago, there was a lot of crime all of a sudden in this little town that I've lived in. Well, I grew up in Cleveland, North Carolina, but Salisbury, we were, just a little city where there was not much going on, and all of a sudden we started having murders and stuff that they weren't solving the problems. And I remember back then, where I didn't remember, I went back to my journal and I was reading, and I had initiated starting a prayer group because of the stuff that was going on. I can't, like gangs and stuff, little Salisbury stuff was happening, and honestly, it still might be stuff going on. I just stay in the hole. I very seldom know what's really going on, and I need to do better with that. But I remember I attempted to start a prayer group, and okay, I'm trying to remember where it was. I don't even remember, but I think it was at the church that I was going to at that time, and I'm not sure. But anyway, it didn't take off or anything. there wasn't much participation. But I really feel strongly again that we need to start praying. Like the song, I know what prayer can do. Prayer has brought me through. Right now I'm concerned about you. You need to pray some too. So yes, we need to be praying. We've heard that, well, I don't know if y'all haven't, but we've heard that there's some hard times coming. And I mean, we know that. It seems like I remember even talking about it myself back in the day. So it didn't come to pass yet. So it just behooves all of us. We need to start praying. And oh yeah, so let me get back to, so of course I had read back in my journal where the Lord had instructed me to start a ministry. That's why I got on here. It's been a couple weeks ago. I didn't do it last week, but believe me, I'm gonna do it because I don't want to get chastised again. But anyway, so what I forgot about, so I read back and I saw where he had told me to start a ministry, but I didn't remember that he told me to start a church. Now, that's a whole nother level. And I do not want to do it. But again, I would rather do it, afraid, do it, whatever. But I got to do what the Lord has told me to do. So I don't know how this is going to work. So what I think is we'll start, because I think it's primarily prayer. That'll be the foundation. So we'll probably just start online. That's all, I mean, because I don't I don't know what else to do. So I will just start online, and if anybody wants to come to my home, you can inbox me, and I can give you directions to my home or the address. But we got to be about our Father's business. There is so much going on in the world today, and I'm gonna tell you the truth. And I remember I have a folder, not a folder. It's I don't know what you call it, but anyway, every message that I ever preached is in that folder. So back to my initial sermon, which I think it was, I don't remember, was it 97? I think it was 97. I don't remember. But I have every sermon that I ever preached is in that folder. And it's still relevant today, honestly. So I may just, I'll probably do that. Go back to my folder and just preach. Of course, I expect the Lord to give me more revelation, and I've asked him to reactivate the prophetic gift within me, because I was shut down for years. I was shut down. I was in a church that I wasn't given the privilege to exercise my gifts. I wasn't given the freedom to sing or minister. And I'm telling you, and I haven't sang in years, so my voice has taken a beating. It's like, if you're familiar with belting, I used to have a very strong soprano. I could sing. I'm not patting myself on the back, but I had a really strong soprano voice, and I can hardly belt right now because I didn't use my voice for so long. And whenever I do get to sing with the group that I sung with for many, many years, it's like I just have to sing falsetto. soprano because the strength in my voice is gone right now. So I got to work on that because devil ain't keeping my, yes, it's gonna get back to where it needs to be. I'm determined. So yeah, I got to do vocal exercises and stuff to get it together. Where was I going with this? Anyway, so yes, we need to pray. We need to pray because that movie 61st Street is happening even today. You would think that we would have been further along at this point with racism, but it's not. It's not. And my prayer is this, and it yeah, one person can make some changes with intercessory prayer. And like I said, I believe that all of the stuff that I went through that I can't even remember straight up right now, it had to do with in an increase in my spiritual authority and anointing and all of that. So God is preparing me for a work and I'm going to do it. But so yeah, we need to be praying regarding, because it's so many people that are incarcerated innocently. How many black men lost their lives because of a lie? And this stuff is, now back then, I mean, yeah, it was, stuff is still happening today. We're in 2025, but it's still happening. It's still happening. It's still happening. And it's sad. Prayer is what's got to turn this around. Y'all, the power of prayer, that is what the Lord has given us to legislate in the spirit, because things have to happen in the spirit before they are manifested in the natural. So yes, we have been raised up for such a time as this to pray. Pray as never before. I've talked enough now. I actually had some notes that I was gonna read over from I had a little booklet that I used to take notes in, you know, at church, whatever. It started back in 2002. So some of the stuff that's in that little book are revelations that God gave me, and then revelation from other pastors when we would have church, and I would write things down. But like I said, I've gone long enough now, and I didn't even get into a message. Well, there was a message. Pray. We need to pray. Go into my inbox if you want to join up with me. And I think that is all for now. Have a great day. Goodbye.